Ain't no night like a young god night.
Same shit, new day, new day. Fuck around, just got paid, got paid. One feel this sad day, I'ma live my life my way because I like it when you see my team is.
Thank you for tuning in to AliV.com. I'm your girl Ali V, and I'm followed here by Devvon Terrell.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. First and foremost, I want to say that I saw your YouTube EPK.
Okay.
And I really was very excited to interview you because you're very inspiring.
Thank you.
I was caught off guard. As I'm watching it, okay, I'm like, he does all of this. He produces, he engineers, he's the camera guy, he's the photographer, he does all his stuff, he writes his own music, and then you interview yourself.
Right.
That, I was like, so, why did you...
What inspired me to do that was I've always tried to figure out a way to make people fall in love with me for not just the music, but for the person that I am. You know, I feel like the biggest artists that we all love and adore are the people that we know so much about.
Okay.
It's not just their songs. So for me, I said, I wonder how people would take it if they knew how much or how involved and how much work I do put in for myself as far as the videos, the photography. I just feel like, not saying it's unheard of, but it's uncommon.
Right.
So I just thought that would just make the people say, oh my God, I want to listen to him, thus like we have now with you coming here. You know, it made you a little more respective of my craft, you know?
You know what I took from it when I saw it? I said, he's not waiting for anyone.
Right.
He's not waiting for anyone to do anything. He's going to do it himself.
Right.
He's going to interview himself. He's going to be his own photographer. He's going to write his own music. He's not going to wait for anyone.
Absolutely.
And that's what I got from it. Writing your own music, where does your inspiration come from?
It comes from a lot of things. Obviously life. I mean, that's just the obvious thing. And second, just honesty. I mean, that's my whole thing. You know, I live by this thing called, I call myself the living weirdo. It's not just a brand, but at the same time, it's me poking fun at, you know, I was always called a weirdo throughout life. Like, you're different, you know, and that's my thing. So my inspiration for writing comes in just honesty, you know, saying the things that I feel like we just don't say. Even as a guy, you know, there's certain things that we just don't say. Like, oh, I have a girlfriend. Guys don't say that typically. So I think that's where my inspiration comes from.
The living weirdo. Please explain that whole concept to me.
The concept of the living weirdo.
The concept behind the living weirdo.
The living weirdo. The living weirdo comes from this person called my mother, by the way. And she would always call me a weirdo when I was a kid. And it was because she always felt that I did weird things. What I'm trying to actually attack with the whole weirdo thing is that you don't have to be afraid to be yourself.
Right.
That pretty much you being afraid to, I remember when I was in high school, I had to have my Jordans, I had to have, you know, it's certain things that I felt like, all right, I gotta dress like this or else, you know, I'm not gonna fit in. But then as I grew up, and I think this is throughout life, you realize I don't have to, you don't have to just, you can be yourself. And sometimes being yourself is going to make you stand out even more than anybody else.
What was your biggest challenge?
My biggest challenge was getting my studio.
Okay.
And I knew I had to get my own studio because I just knew exactly what I wanted. And it wasn't me just trying to close everyone out and you know, trying to do things myself, but honestly, that's what it came down to. I knew what I wanted. So I think that grind to save up enough to actually get this place in my studio where we sit right now it was one of the toughest things. I still have the pair of sneakers I wore every day that I didn't spend money like just so I could save up for this place, and those sneakers are run to the ground. But I keep them just to remind me like this is you hungry, you know what I mean? And that's what it's about.
Something that I actually heard you say was you leave what you love, you leave who you love for what you love.
Right.
That was a very big statement. What was your biggest sacrifice in this entire industry?
The biggest
just following
sacrifice.
Your dreams.
Just following my dreams. I've lost every single friend I've ever had. And I'm pretty sure people don't know that about me, but if they think about it now, I'm pretty sure they realize it. I don't have many friends.
Okay.
To be honest, I had a lot of friends, but because of music, things happen, and I've had tons of falling outs with good friends of mine that we had, and that's really the biggest sacrifice, because after a while it came to a point where it was like, wow, I'm just in this room, you know what I mean, by myself, and I'm looking like I want to talk to someone and I can't.
Right.
You know, I think that's one of the biggest things that that has just had an effect on my life, you know. But at the same time, once again, if you're passionate about something, you have to move.
What's your biggest regret?
My biggest regret? Ooh. My biggest regret, as bad as it sounds, is going straight to college for something I really didn't want to do.
Oh, that's good.
I went to college for to be a network administrator in network engineering for computers, and I did my 2 years. I graduated, and then right then and there I said, I don't want to sit behind a computer for the rest of my life. Right. So after graduation, I took myself. I said, Mom, I want to go to school for engineering. And she was like, all right, where's the school? I said, Florida. And she was like, oh my God, like, what are we gonna? I was like, listen, I'm gonna do it. I said, you know me. Like, if you help me, I'll do it. And we went and never looked back, and that was it. Okay. So, yeah. So
it's not going to school. It's just going to school for something.
For something that you really don't intend on, or something you really don't like.
What do you hope your fans get out of the project that you're about to put out?
I hope that they understand who I am. I'm hoping that they understand that it's okay to be commercial, but at the same time, you can have a commercial sound and have these familiar music, but at the same time, you can have content there. You know what I mean? Like it can be good. It doesn't have to feel like such an equation. Like that's my whole thing, and I want them to just get this. I really want them to understand the whole weirdo thing. Just be yourself. I'm a guy. I'm being myself. I'm not trying to just ride with everyone else or follow a trend. I'm just trying to be me, and I want people to get that from me, and I want people to get that from the music. This is just very direct, and this is for everyone. You know what I mean? And that's it.
What would you tell someone who was actually on the come up and trying to pursue this career? What advice would you give them?
I would tell them, if you're on the come up, I would tell you, don't give up. You're going to lose people. People are not going to like your stuff. People are going to love your stuff. And that's just life. If you're ready for this, get ready for it. And just do it and don't look back. Don't sit down. Don't put out a song one day and then for a month you sit on your behind and then say, I'm going to drop another thing. Don't do that. You got to be consistent.
What was the best advice someone has given you?
The best advice someone's given me?
Yeah.
The best advice someone's given me. That's the one I'm kind of stumped on that one. The best advice someone's given me.
What's the best advice?
The best advice someone's given me. Oh, don't sign something without reading it.
That's a good one.
That's the best advice because I've learned my lesson plenty of times. Don't sign something without reading it because you just never know. Don't say to yourself, oh man, this is it. It's an opportunity. I mean, there's longevity to things and you got to, kind of just sit back and think about it before you make that step. So I should say, don't sign anything before you read it. That's it.
Now, you have the hotline.
Yes.
You have the website.
Yes.
You have the EPK coming out soon. What can we expect coming up besides all of that?
I do have some cool stuff that I just recently heard about. I'm actually recently just got a song with Jaron Benton and Chris Webby, which are two big indie underground artists from Funk Volume, and stuff like that. And so I'm super excited about that. That's one of my next biggest things that I'm excited about because those are two dudes that I truly do respect as artists, and they have clout within their demographic. So that's something I'm super excited about. That I haven't told anyone yet, but I'm telling people now about it. So yeah, just excited to have a record with them.
Exclusive, right?
Yeah, you definitely did.
Who would you like to work with if you had anybody?
Anyone to work with? I think Childish Gambino. I want to work with Dizzy Wright, which I have the pleasure of actually doing shows with him. A lot of shows. I've done a lot of shows with Dizzy Wright, and I really, on a major level, I'd say Janaiko. Yeah, for sure. I would like to work with her.
That would actually be dope. Now that I think her voice is sick.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a sick voice.
Right. Like, kind of, I just like her tone and I like her style. And I've heard things about her process, and I would like to be around during her process. So, yeah, I would like to do it. On a major level, her. But on an independent level, as far as accessible, those guys, for sure.
What type of music can we expect from you? More upbeat, more ballads? Like, what can we expect from the music? I
think more mid-tempo, deep basses, kind of stuff like that.
Okay.
I really like hard-hitting drums. Okay. I like deep drums. I'm really weird because I feel like I can go from this, pop feel, which deep down my heart, that's where my heart lies, within pop music. But at the same time, you'll hear obviously those R&B influences that I just can't run away from. You know what I mean? So definitely those. I'm just a clash of things. I like the rap, I like the hip hop, I like the pop and the R&B. So you'll hear a ton of different things from me. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you'll hear my sound. I am who I am. Within these genres and stuff like that. You can follow me or you can find everything that we've talked about and stuff like that at IamDevvonTerrell.com. You can find me at Devvon Terrell on any social network. Luckily, I've gotten that name across every platform without adding a 3 or underscore and all that other stuff. Only on Facebook is Devvon Terrell Music, and that's pretty much it. Instagram, Devvon Terrell, and that's pretty much where everything is. If you want to know anything about me or find any updates or anything like that, you can look. I got tons of YouTube videos and tons of content for you to see. Some of your favorite songs, I've covered them. Check them out, and that's it. That's all me.
And the biggest message that you have to your fans?
The biggest message I have to my fans is stay weird. I tweet that all the time. Stay weird.
Stay weird, guys.
I like my way because I like it when you see my team is winning.